you doing there, folks? Baiters here for another Top 10. This week, we're going to be looking at the top 10 melee weapon mods in Fallout 4. Remember to keep your eyes open for this puckered butthole, as that's an indicator that that mod featured is available on your console. For those of you playing on PC, note that every mod featured is available to you all, as we do all our mod reviews on the PC version of Fallout 4. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter for the latest updates on when we'll be live streaming next, so you can come chit-chat with us live. The links to all the mods as well as our Twitter handle will be in the description. Now tape your butt cheeks together and perk up that one bum, and let's get to average baiting, baby! At number 10, we have the Huntsman by Mike Moore. This mod adds the type of knife to the game that you could use to stab college kids to death with after you challenge them to a rigged trivia game over the phone. On a side note, I always thought that it would be interesting if those psychos from the Scream movies called up a gun enthusiast instead. I really wonder how that would have played out.
Hey there, do you want to play a game? Do you like scary movies?
No. Here's a better question. Do you like getting murdered? Because I have a fully automatic gas-loaded assault rifle within our arm's reach right now, and I've been to prison twice. Guess what? I love the food. So I dare you, I double dare you to take my girlfriend to a chair by the pool, because I will literally fuck your corpse.
Oh shit, wrong number. Sorry about that.
This knife is a great addition to the game, as there really wasn't enough in terms of knife variety before this mod. Because the combat knife really looks like shit, and even a stealth character, I think, would probably try to learn karate just to avoid using it in the game. However, this knife looks amazing, and really makes a stealth character relevant in Fallout 4. Sneaking around, stabbing people with this knife is so much fun, it would give my psychotherapist chills if I told her about it. Now, if you want to locate this weapon, you can get it off dead gunners after they die or after you kill them, as it has been added to the respective level list. The textures and meshes for this knife look great and make this an excellent addition to Fallout 4. I rate this mod the face you make when you realize the contents of the drunk text that you were sending people the night before. Ah shit. Monday at the office is gonna be really touch and go for me. At number 9, we've got Tomahawk by Scavera. This little sexy number made this list because of its realistic design, its great textures, and its overall feel in the game. This may not be the biggest melee weapon, nor is it the strongest, but it's razor sharp and it will make villagers run for the hills when you start flailing it around all willy-nilly. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear some first-hand testimonials, shall we?
Oh yeah, no, the Tomahawk changed my life, for sure, yeah. No, I used to pretend to be a steamboat captain like all the time, for hours on end. It actually got so bad that my kids, they ran away, and my wife started having sexual relations with a creature that she found in my closet. But now with this Tomahawk by my side, I don't feel so alone when I cry myself to sleep at night.
Before this Tomahawk, I was down on my luck. I had just got evicted from my home, so I had to sell my body as a prostitute just to get by. Now, I still live on the street and suck people's privates for cheap, but now I'm a prostitute with a sweet fucking Tomahawk. Things are looking good for me. Things are looking real good.
Well, there you have it, folks. Those are first-hand accounts of how this Tomahawk can change your life. Now, although there are no customization options for this weapon, this little bitch fits in really well to the Fallout environment with an immersive design and damage that let you know you're using a miniature axe that doesn't really feel overpowered. This is the type of weapon you can put in your pocket if you don't mind looking awkward as fuck. The mod author has yet to implement an immersive way of acquiring this weapon, however, so if you want to get your paws on it, you'll have to use the console commands. Now, if you do want to make it immersive, you could just imagine some sort of backstory where the Tomahawk was frozen with the sole survivor, and then he just kind of wakes up with it. See? Immersive! I rate this mod that one face that you make when you randomly see a guy wearing a ski mask emerge from the bushes. Oh no. Pretty sure that guy's a raper. I need to get out of here right now. At number 8, we have the Entrenching Tool, aka a little shovel, by River NL. Now, the great thing about using a little shovel as a weapon is you can bring it everywhere you go. And people don't know that you're carrying 12 pounds of lethal force in your teddy bear backpack. I do it all the time. I remember the last time someone cut in front of me at the line at the movies, I was all like, "Excuse me, buddy, I was standing there." Don't ever butt in front of me again. Oh my god, I think that guy's dead. Now, the Entrenching Tool, or the E-Tool for short, is a perfect melee multi-purpose weapon. It is a collapsible spade used by military forces for a variety of military purposes, including digging holes in the ground and fucking up line cutters. Survivalist freedivers, campers, hikers, outdoorsy groups, and even your occasional lazy gopher will find this bad boy indispensable in field use. This mod looks incredible and really gives melee fighting in Fallout a whole new dynamic. It makes you feel like you can use anything as a weapon and really helps to bring the world to life in the game. The mod author did a great job on the meshes and textures, making the E-Tool look realistic and combat ready. Also, it has been implemented into the world through the level list, so once you reach level 20 or higher, you'll be able to loot this portable toilet off of dead raiders. Now, the damage, design, weight, and overall presence are immersive and make this melee weapon an excellent addition to the Commonwealth. I rate this mod that one face you make when you fart on the bus and you're wondering whether or not the person next to you actually heard it. At number 7, we've got the Reagent by Billy Rowe. This mod adds a meticulously crafted Albion sword to the game. Now, it's not the biggest sword in the game, but you can't just obsess over size, can ya? I mean, you just won't get anywhere doing that. Just imagine if William Wallace was obsessed with size. He probably wouldn't have been able to give all them good speeches that got his troops all riled up, would he?
Yeah, fighting you may die. Leaving you live, at least for a while. Yeah, the English, they have a bigger army than ours. They have armor and we don't. And yeah, their horses are a wee bit larger than ours. I mean, that horse there looks like it ate at least 3 other horses today just to sustain itself. I mean, that horse really looks like a mutated growth, to be honest. Doesn't even look like a horse, it looks like a whale came up on land and grew legs. Fuck is that thing?
Now, if you want to acquire this weapon and you have Armor and Keywords Community Resource, then you'll be able to craft this weapon at the Weaponsmith Workbench. If you don't have Armor and Keywords Community Resource, then you better get your adopted daughter Doris to download that shit for you ASAP, because you're missing out, motherfucker. But if you really don't like Armor and Keywords Community Resource, then you can use the console commands to get your thick fingers on this beauty. This weapon doesn't have a lot in terms of customization, but it does look and feel great in the game. The textures and meshes make this sword stand out in the Commonwealth in a way that would be concerning to your enemies. This is the type of weapon that you could use to start a revolution, or at the very least, scare some kids out of their candy bags at Halloween. Give me the fucking chocolate! I rate this mod one super perverted lemur just sitting outside your bedroom window.
That's it. Take it off, you naughty little bitch.
At number 6, we have Insanity's Celtic Katana by Insanity Sorrow. This weapon mod was ported from Skyrim by Invalid Fate. This mod includes 1 katana, 1 tanto, and for those of you who are unaware what a tanto is, it's like a really small katana used mostly for suicide. It's not the little dog that Dorothy abandons in The Wizard of Oz. Common misconception, but just not the case. This mod also includes 4 left-handed scabbard armors with and without the katana and tanto inside. This mod definitely makes you feel like a samurai or a ninja when you use it. Now, speaking of ninjas, there was a time in my life when I wanted nothing more than to be a ninja. I used to sneak up on people when they least expected it and tried to stick my dick right in their ear. At first, I was terrible and couldn't even get within 100 meters before some lady started screaming,
That guy ear's got a stick out!
but now I'm just so sneaky that even someone wearing headphones isn't safe for my penis. Little off topic there, my bad. Now, where were we? Oh yes, this mod looks and feels realistic in the game. It doesn't have a lot in terms of customization, but what it lacks for in variety, it makes up for in quality. The meshes and textures make this katana jump through the screen in a way that I could only describe as terrifying. Now, if you want to acquire this weapon, you're gonna have to use the console commands, as Invalid Fate didn't add a more lore-friendly way of acquiring this weapon just yet. I rate this mod 1 picture of my ex-girlfriend. She was a real bitch. She just broke up with me randomly on this super windy day. She just flew off, never to be seen again. At number 5, we have the Modular Assassin Sword by Faxi VCM. There is something dark and mysterious about assassins. They just have a tricky nature that leaves the average Joe defenseless when they come a-knockin'. This sword embodies that deceptive nature with this very unique looking melee addition to Fallout 4. This sword looks ballin' as fuck with its black hilt and cool as fuck blades. The textures and meshes would make Bethesda blush as they just fit in so well to the environment. This sword comes with 4 different customization options so you can change it up if you get bored of how it looks. You got your basic blade, which is kinda cool. You also got your sharp blade, which can cut the tits off a camel. Not sure what that means, but it sure does sound sharp. You got your curved blade, which is as crooked as my penis, and you've got your energy blade, which glows in the dark. For those assassins who have the confidence to say, fuck stealth, I want these sons of bitches to have a head start. Now, if you'd like to get your mittens on this weapon of death, then you can craft it at the chemistry station and change it up between the different variants at the weapons workbench. This is a great addition to Fallout 4, one that I would recommend to anyone's playthrough of the game. I rate this mod that moment just before this guy realized there was a murdering baby on his head.
Holy fuck! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! Take the... Ugh.
At number 4, we have the Viceroy by Billy Rowe. This mod is the recreation of the Albion Viceroy in Fallout 4. There is both one-handed and two-handed variants of this weapon in case your arm gets tired from decapitating your enemies. You can wield this bitch with 2 hands rather than just one. This sword is big in an unnecessary kind of way. It's so long and goddamn girthy that it just looks too good. That it's the type of weapon a ghoulish looking creature would obsess over it in a cave somewhere and likely try to fuck it.
We want it. We need it. Must have the precious. Not listening. Not listening. And away he goes, precious. Gone, gone, gone. Smeagol is free.
Holy shit! I thought I had issues, right? Anyways...
This sword is definitely an upgrade from a prison ship, but possibly a downgrade from a lightsaber in terms of damage. The mod author did a great job on this weapon mod, as it looks very realistic, but also fits into the Fallout 4 aesthetic very nicely. I don't feel like this sword breaks immersion, rather I just feel like it adds to the overall dynamic of the game, expanding on the already gigantic arsenal of unique weapons in the game, and added yet another beautiful but deadly addition to the mix. This is a fun weapon to look at, and it's even more enjoyable to use it in the game. It has been implemented into Fallout in a very immersive way, in that it can be crafted at the chemistry station.
So whip out your beakers and schematics, people, because this bitch is worth burning off your eyebrows for. I rate this mod that one guy who had to pitch the concept of the Snuggie to investors. No, it's a blanket with sleeves in it.
That's a sweater.
No, you can't wear it. It's a blanket, but with sleeves in it.
So a shirt?
No, it's too long to be a shirt. It's a blanket with sleeves in it. Keeps you warm, man.
So a house coat?
No, you wear it the other way.
That's just a house coat.
No, it's a blanket with sleeves in it.
That's a house coat.
No, it's not. It's a blanket with sleeves in it.
Are you gonna stab me at any point in time?
Probably, yes.
At number 3, we have the Averagebaters BK9 knife by Trophy Hunter. Are you fed up with knives that just won't cut? Tired of dull knives that destroy your reputation in the Commonwealth? Are you disturbed by what it takes to shank a defenseless villager? Then welcome the all-new Averagebaters Miracle Blade. It has a blade so sharp and powerful, you can cut a pineapple in midair. Wow! Did you see that? I don't know about you guys, but flying pineapples were a huge problem for me before this knife. Now, not at all. A handle so extraordinary, it uses NASA-approved aerodynamic technology to make chopping, cutting, stabbing, slashing, and murdering easier than ever before. A design so ingenious, you can cut a bagel from top to bottom, and your freakishly large hands will never get in the way. A feeling so empowering, it'll make you want to punch a jellyfish right in the brain. God, I didn't know they made that sound. And if you call now, we'll throw in 2 knives. That's right, 2 Ka-Bar Becker NASA-approved super cutters for the low price of free. That's right, we're giving them away because there's a guy in the studio right now with a lazy eye threatening to kill everyone unless we give these knives away. He says a pineapple killed his father. So hurry and call now and get your Ka-Bar Becker miracle knife today while supplies last. Just call below. Go ahead, do it. Seriously, I fear for my life. Go ahead, call now. Please, for fuck's sake, call the number. Fuck's sake, call the goddamn number.
Please do not call the number. This is a joke. If you call the number, you will not get an answer. I'm pretty sure it was pretty obvious that this was a joke, but I just had to make sure, so here's the disclaimer. There you go. Fart noise!
This mod adds the Ka-Bar Becker BK9 knife to the Commonwealth. This mod comes in both 2K and 4K variants depending on how realistic you want it to look in the game. The mesh is just under 8,000 triangles, and I honestly have no clue what that means, but it sure does sound like a lot of fucking triangles. The knife itself looks great in the game and goes really well with the overall world space as a whole. Now if you want to acquire this weapon, you can craft it at the Weaponsmith workbench if you have armor and keywords community resources installed. If not, you'll have to use the console commands to get your fingers on this razor-sharp device used to cut faces. I rate this mod 1 photo of the last Jedi pug. The Force is strong with this one. At number 2, we've got the Fire Axe by Mike Moore. This mod adds a great looking fire axe to the game that looks identical to the iconic axe wielded by heroic firefighters. Now on a side note, I think I would be a terrible firefighter because I get really nervous on a hot day when the air conditioning all of a sudden just stops working. Ah, sweet Jesus, no! Mike Moore has created another excellent melee weapon mod with this addition to Fallout 4. The meshes and textures look very realistic and really bring this axe to life in the game. This mod also has some customization options so you can change up the style depending on what kind of axes give you a throbbing hard-on. There are 3 different grips, 2 different heads, 2 different handles, and 1 extra mod which adds a shock attachment. Just in case an axe to the face wasn't enough to render an enemy unconscious, you can now electrocute the shit out of them. This is an extremely immersive addition to the game with the damage, weight, and design all blending in perfectly to the Commonwealth. Furthermore, this weapon has been added to the level list so you can pull it off raiders, super mutants, or really ill-equipped gunners. Whoa, pump the brakes. We're called gunners and I join up and you give me an axe? You guys all have guns, look at this guy. He can't even walk straight, he's got a gun. It's a huge gun. That might be the biggest gun I ever seen. You give me a fucking axe? Really? Come on! I feel like I'm not part of the group here. I'm gonna be honest with you. If we're expressing ourselves, I feel like I'm not part of the group. Alright? This is an excellent addition to the game that I would recommend to anyone who's wandering around the Commonwealth. I rate this mod 1 photograph of Clint Eastwood as a baby. For the first time ever, we got ourselves an honorable mention. Now at that honorable mention spot, we've got the golden Ingento Katana by Steampunk 755. Couldn't complete this list without showing off this great new addition to Fallout 4. The mod author did a great job with this katana, designing a weapon that doesn't only look different than other weapons in the game, but also handles differently with its own custom animations, which is extremely unique for a melee weapon. Also, it's just great to see a melee weapon that goes above and beyond, taking a ubiquitous katana mod design and giving it a whole new spin. This kind of out-of-the-box thinking makes my dick hard. Now the meshes, textures, animations all look incredible and make this katana a must-have in anyone's playthrough of Fallout 4. Now if you want to get your hands on this katana, then just head to the roof of the Red Rocket and I'll just be sitting there chilling. Grab that shit, put it in your inventory, and get to cutting! I rate this mod 1 horse playing hide and seek.
Ready or not, guys, here I come!
At number 1, we have Concrete Sledgehammer by AssXass. This mod adds a standalone melee weapon to the game that's so goddamn big and scary, you could beat an old lady to death in public with it and no one would say a word, because they'd be fucking terrified. It also makes a good stocking stuffer at Christmas for those last minute gift ideas that really stand out and say, hey, I'm a fucking lunatic. Thanks for inviting me into your house during the holidays. SXS is an amazing mod author whose mods are always top tier, and this mod is no different. The details that go into this hammer would make people that look like oversized nails shit their pants just at the sight of it. This is the type of hammer you'd use to do home improvements on the weekends with, to let your neighbors know you're not the type of person they want to trifle with. This weapon has some customization options as well in case you want to change up the look and style. It has 4 different heads and 4 different grips, or handles as some people like to call them. So mix and match until you create a weapon that just screams you every time you smash something to death. Now, if you want to acquire this weapon, which I'm sure you do, you can acquire it by heading over to Mystic Pines, and it should be leaning on a gravestone on the back of the building, which is a sort of ominous foreshadow of future exploits with this big dick in your arsenal. It can also be found on enemies after you kill them, as it has been added to the respective level list. I rate this mod one kid who was tired of paying so much for his hats and lids that he just decided to make his own. And it looks fucking spectacular. It's gonna be the summer trend. Thanks for watching, folks. Really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to bitch slap the shit out of that subscribe button and come back for more fun next time. Also, if you want to go a step further and support us on Patreon and help us get one step closer to making videos for you all full time, that'd be awesome! Also, quick note, once we reach 75,000 subscribers, we're gonna have a special music video for y'all, so be sure to keep your slippery butt cracks ready for that. As always, appreciate all of your eyeballs, and hope to see y'all again next time for another Top 10!